So here, if we are discussing about the microcontroller and its applications. So microcontroller is a device which is generally used to control some specific tasks or applications. Like if we are seeing that in today's world, or simply we say that in today's digital and atomized world, the various applications driven by microcontroller. So a device or a integrated circuit, simply we say that the IC, which controls some output devices based on working of motors in forward or reverse direction. Other side we say that the clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, and some applications like make it on or make it off with the help of some switches, automated switches, or generally we consider in case of electronics that is relay. So relay is a switch which is automatically driven based on the coil excitation. So if coil is energized, it will change the pole terminal from normally closed, that is NC, to normally open, and normally open terminal becomes closed, and normally closed terminal becomes open, that is contact is removed from NC and it is connected to the NO. And as per your application, you have to connect the required output of pole, that is input is connected, that is either 230 volt or either DC supplied 5 volt, 12 volt, 48 volt, whatever. So this supply applied at pole is automatically connected to the NC or NO as per the requirement. Based on that, your next applications, either lamp is there, fan is there, or motor is there, so it will make on or make it off. So based on the relay application, so generally we consider relay as a switch. In lower case, we consider that transistor as a switch. So whenever we apply some inputs, that is IB base current to the transistor, so based on that, transistor make it on, and according to that, further devices connected to the transistors may be turned on or may be off. That is, if we simply consider or just imagine the diagram of relay connected to the transistor and transistor connected to the microcontroller. So, and for relay pole, yes, hello, not visible here, visible or not? Recorder screen is showing to you. जस्ट मिनिट, मी अजून त्यातलं काय सांगितलंच नाहीये, जनरल डिस्कशन चाललंय तरी पण. ओके, स्टॉप. I think some candidates are there. Okay, share from try. Both options are available with us. Already file is uploaded to Drive also. Just wait. If you have any problem, just inform me like this. Otherwise, I am in under impression that something is right and going smoothly. Yes, Kiran. Some students are in waiting list. Okay. Now screen is visible to all of you. Hello. Okay. these are some initial pages, syllabus, textbooks, and this. Okay, so now we are discussing about the title and central idea of the subject. Here, as I have discussed to you, the various applications, that is systems, are controlled by microcontroller, either any of the microcontroller, just we say the 8051 in now our case, or further part is PIC microcontroller. So microcontroller is used to control the various devices, appliances, applications, or systems, circuits, as your name. So generally we consider microcontroller is used to develop an embedded system which will be used for monitor, measure, and control, or any of the three tasks generally done by microcontroller based systems, that is monitoring some parameters, either environmental parameter, that is physical quantities, with the help of some transducers. Measuring, again same, not only monitor the temperature, monitor the pressure. So measurement is also one application, that is weight measurement, length measurement, and pressure measurement. So these parameters are measured by the microcontroller based systems and display on the various kinds of displays. Yes, Kiran? Shingare Kiran, do you have any query? You raise hand, that's why I am asking. Or it is earlier? Hello, Kiran? Hello? Doubt आहे का काही? Hello? Okay. So where we are? So measuring, monitoring, and controlling. So generally measuring and monitoring is done at the input side, that is various sensors generates output either in analog or digital format, and its output is applied to the microcontroller as an input. So these two quantities, that is measurement and monitoring, is done from the input side, and whatever the data is collected or received from the sensors or devices, electronic devices, these data are shown or displayed on the various type of screens, that is displays. Another part, that is last part and important, is controlling of the parameters. That is whenever we are using microcontroller based systems to control something, that is controlling the temperature, suppose. So if we see in that temperature controlling, one best example is your home's air conditioner, or microwave oven, or refrigerator based systems. So in these systems, temperature sensor is connected or interface with that particular system or its controller related part for measurement of temperature. Based on that, its temperature is monitored, whether it is becomes equal to the set or reference temperature. We simply say that in case of AC or fridge, whatever, if it is 20 degrees Celsius is set for the room by the user from remote control, then it will continuously monitor the temperature from the temperature sensor, and if it is becomes 20, then it will automatically turn off your AC. If it is greater than 20, that is 21, 22, like that, in that case it will make it turn on the your AC, so that your room temperature should be balanced or maintained at your requested or specified temperature. Same case is applicable for microwave oven, same case is applicable for refrigerators and any other systems. This is the example related to temperature. Another examples are related to the pressure, weight, and some applications where flow rate need to be controlled. That is, if we are considering the bottle filling plants, that is cold drinks are filled in the bottles, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, like that. Here the timing based operations are done, and where the flow rate of that cold drink, particular cold drink flowing or inserting, pouring into that bottles, either in 100 ml bottle or 1000 ml bottle or 5000 ml bottle. So flow rate should be maintained. That's why the flow rate is continuously monitored, and it will be delivered as your requested or required flow rate. So this is controlling application. Same application is done for the conveyor belts, where you want to stop or run the motors, but as per the requested time interval for running, requested time interval for stopping, that is hold the motor status. So these are the applications driven by the microcontrollers. Generally I am categorizing in three types: measurement, monitor and controlling. So all these applications comes under the microcontroller based systems, and they are generally called as embedded systems. So further part of the embedded system is based on the microcontrollers. So this is the main idea of the subject, where we have to understand the various parameters of the microcontroller. So before actual start the working, how to interface some devices, it is necessary to analyze the internal functions and architecture of an microcontroller, which we are going to study. So first chapter is introduction, that is introduction to the microcontroller and some basics related to the microcontroller, how it works, and difference between processor, that is microprocessor, and microcontroller. After that, architectural difference between RISC architecture and CISC architecture. That CISC is nothing but complex instruction set computer, and RISC is nothing but reduced instruction set computer. After that, memory architecture related to that, program memory and data. Hello, hello, who is there? Mane Abhishek. Okay, so these applications are related to the various sectors or sections. That's why I'm telling. So important of the subject is, before actual interfacing starts, we have to go with the various specifications of the microcontrollers. What are the components are available inbuilt with the microcontrollers? What is the working of respective section of that particular microcontroller? That is, if we are saying that timers, how many timers are there, how it works, what are the timer operating modes, interrupts, priorities of the interrupts, which SFRs required for the operation of interrupts and timers, like that. So in this manner, we have to go from basics to the interfacing side. That is first unit, introduction. Second unit, hardware architecture, that is architecture and its various peripherals of MCS 5.1. And after that, programming, that is assembly as well as C language. And then we go for the interfacing. So this is related to the central idea of the chapter. After that, its importance. So when we are discussing about this subject, that is microcontroller and applications, this subject is important because it deals with directly automation based systems, that is how to control, how to monitor, how to measure the automated systems which are driven by using microcontrollers. So in this way, this chapter or the complete microcontrollers and applications course is important to analyze the various parameters related to the measuring, monitoring and controlling systems, that is embedded system. Generally we say that the embedded systems based on the microcontroller, either MCS 5.1 or PIC microcontrollers. So this chapter is really important as an production engineer, that is how to analyze the IO pins and what are the connections, that is RxTx, that is transmission lines, reception lines of that particular controller, IO pins, crystal oscillators, power supply. As an production engineer, that is for assembly purpose of the microcontroller on board or testing purpose. Again, as a design engineer, that is embedded software design or developer, you have to analyze the various pins and their functions of a microcontroller, how it works. Again, the internal structure of the microcontroller, how many pins are there, how many timers are there, how many interrupts are there, how many memory locations are available as a RAM, as a ROM. So these are the various features need to be studied by an embedded design engineer. And if we are considering related to the marketing person, in that case it is necessary to analyze the various parameters which are to be controlled by a microcontroller. If we are using particular microcontroller and which is not sufficient to control some specific task, that is inbuilt ADC is not available in MCS51, and which is already available or inbuilt available in PIC microcontroller. So marketing person may compare these two microcontrollers, which is feasible and more efficient with respect to cost, with respect to size of the microcontroller, as well as the complete PCB or complete unit. So based on that, after making some study or analysis, he will decide which controller is to be used. So for that purpose, it is necessary to analyze the various controllers by their specifications, features, like that. So this subject is important to analyze the various functions and features where we are going to use the microcontrollers for measuring and controlling. So after that, some course objectives are defined from university side for this subject, and course outcomes. Here objectives are nothing but they need to be defined for which our syllabus or subject syllabus is designed. So based on that, here four objectives are defined. That is, first one is to provide an introduction to the microcontroller families. That is, here the basic information related to the microcontroller 8051. In association with that, some basics related to the microprocessor. Here microprocessor is not a part of this syllabus or our course, that is subject this semester, but some basics, that is first version and some latest version of microprocessors need to be just undergone through the names and manufacturers, that is Intel, like this. After that, second part is the various features of microcontroller 8051 as well as microcontroller PIC16F877. So here if we are considering that microcontroller, name only microcontroller, so here in our syllabus, that is microcontrollers and applications, two microcontrollers are need to be studied. In first section MCS51 and in second section PIC16F. So while considering the microcontroller, if we are dealing with the section 1, then we simply consider that whenever the word used microcontroller is nothing but MCS51, MCS51 is nothing but 8051 microcontroller. And when we are dealing with section 2 from microcontrollers and applications, in that case microcontroller is considered as a PIC16F877A microcontroller. So here objectives for both microcontrollers remain same, that is specifications, features of microcontroller, objective is same, analyze or understand the features and specifications, but features may be somewhat different for first microcontroller and some additional features or different features available in second microcontroller. After that, programming concept, that is both microcontrollers are programmed in assembly language as well as in C language. Here the MCS51 is programmed with the help of Keil software, that is you have already familiar with the Keil Microvision, either version 3, 4 or 5. Latest version is 8 version, but for educational purpose Microvision Keil 3 or Keil 5 is the best version, and in which we are able to program our microcontrollers. The code size is restricted up to the 2 kilobytes. If we are seeing that compiling process of the microcontrollers program either in assembly or C in Keil Microvision, then first window is appeared that the memory size of 2 KB. If you have observed that, if not, then we will discuss when we actually started the practicals. But here the free version, that is for all educational institutes, restricted up to the 2 kilobytes. After that we have to purchase the license copy if we are commercially using. That is nothing but its motto is that for educational purpose whatever the programs are there, they are under the 2 kilobytes, that is less than 2 kilobytes when we generate an hex file, which is always less than 2 kilobytes. If our applications are more, and if we are using for our industrial purpose, that is business applications, where we deals with various customers and various parameters are analyzed, in that case our hex code size is increases, that is greater than 2 kilobytes, and which is not supported by the Keil Microvision until and unless if we not purchase, that is purchasing the software is mandatory in that case. But for educational purpose, as AICTE approved, and their company also given free access till 2 kilobytes. So programming of MCS 5.1 in assembly and programming of MCS 5.1 in C, both are applicable in Keil Microvision software, or some specific software developed by some trainer kits companies, that is small kits like various application universal and some scientific is there. So they are developed, but the motto or basic function is same. They are using Keil Microvision, but their name and other things are changed up to get some money from the college sites. After that, for related to the PIC microcontroller, does not support for the Keil Microvision programming software. Here PIC has their own programming software, that is MPLAB, that is already developed by Microchip. One thing should be noted, that PIC microcontroller is developed from Microchip technology, and Microchip has also developed programming software for the PIC series of microcontrollers. So here PIC series uses MPLAB as a programming software, and in the same programming software, either you go with the assembly language or you go with the C language programming, but you have to write your code in only MPLAB programming applications, which is developed by the Microchip. So these are the objectives, and related to objectives, course outcomes are defined, that is expose fundamental features. Here expose means we are knowing that which features are available with microcontroller 1, that is MCS 5.1, and which features are available with microcontroller 2, that is PIC microcontroller. So while comparison is going on, so as per the need of customer or designer, if we are saying that we are designing some system and we require these parameters, so according to these parameters we should first define which controller is to be feasible or applicable for the required specifications. As from customer side, some specifications are given to you people and parameters are defined, and then you have to first select the controller, because various inputs are applied to controller, various outputs are generated by the controller. So your controller is the central part or heart of that particular system. So this selection of that particular controller is most important. That is, if you are requiring the program memory size, okay, you join with the same meeting, same link immediately if it is ended up after that 10 meeting, I think, 10 minutes. So here selection based on your memory requirement, based on your IOs requirement, based on your timers, based on your interrupts. So here we are generally now in this subject we comparing only 2, but after that in embedded system you might be undergone for the ARM controllers and various processors also, latest MSP controllers are also there. After that, if you are in a commercial zone, that is after completion of your graduation, and you are working as an embedded engineer, either in design sector, so in that case choice is yours, which controller is feasible. Your boss or owner might not be understandable, that is which controller is feasible. If it is in that particular domain only, then he suggests you use this controller which is most suitable, most feasible. But if he or she is not able to understand which controller is suitable, then the total decision will be in your hand as a design engineer. So you have to analyze the various features, or simply we say that the limitations, not only features, some limitations are also there. That is, this is applicable for this temperature only, up to this is applicable for these IOs only, 32 IOs. If we are requiring more than 32 IOs, what should be our strategy? So in this way, limitations are also important, not only study the features only. So limitations are also important. So based on features and limitations, we have to select our controllers and then rest of the parameters. Okay, these outcomes. So fundamental features, this is first applicable for both the controllers. Demonstrate and perform hardware interfacing. That is, hardware interfacing for MCS 51 is applicable. That is where we consider the LED 7 segment LED display, LCD display 16:2, relay, DC motor, stepper motor, and various parameters. Any other parameters, that is sensors, are also applicable. ADC interfacing to the 8051, which is not inbuilt to the microcontroller. And after that, for PIC microcontroller, ADC is inbuilt, that is in architecture itself included. So it is not necessary to interface external ADC. Here some features and fundamentals of the PIC16F are also mentioned as a course outcomes. After that, introduce the various course. Who is this? 10:30 ला कधी join करतात? Okay, introduce the various core and peripheral features of PIC microcontroller. Here the fourth is related to the various internal structure, that is inbuilt, how many timers, how they are working, interrupts are there. Here more than 14 interrupts are available in PIC microcontrollers. Their structures, SFRs, all these peripheral features related to the PIC microcontrollers are also included. Here it is mentioned in outcome number 4. And outcome number 5, develop and practice assembly language and C language programming techniques, which is common for both the microcontrollers. Here in this syllabus, that is MCA syllabus, interfacing of IO devices with PIC16F is excluded. Earlier it was included as a separate subject is there for PIC and separate subject is there for 8051. So as combination of these two, the last part of the interfacing, that is PIC16F microcontroller interface with LED, LCD, motors, relays, etc. So these interfacing part is excluded, but peripheral features and internal structure is studied with the help of language, that is programming either in C or either in assembly. So these are the course objectives and outcomes related to the microcontroller and application subject. So this is related to overall introduction of the subject. Now onwards we are discussing about the first unit, that is unit number 1, and its name is introduction. So till this, if you have any query, let me know, please. Is there chat? No one is there. Okay, you have any query? Okay, so the overall idea of this, have you understood for our subject? What is to be studied in section 1 and in section 2? The basic concept related to the study of microcontroller 1, that is MCS 51, and microcontroller 2 is same. Only thing is that we have to study the two different controllers, and in that case our first section is MCS 51 and second section is PIC microcontrollers. Some features and some limitations both are having related to the both the microcontrollers. So generally for MCS 51, as I have told earlier, that is last lecture, use the Mazdi book completely, no problem. And for PIC we discuss related to the data sheet is more important, and after that Mazdi book is also important. So shall we people make this writing from your side? That is the importance of, or are you writing here itself only? Central idea, title of the chapter. Hello? 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 Huh. So, are you writing now or later on? If you feel feasible later, then I will share with you. No problem. So, shall we move towards the unit number 1? Other students? Who is there waiting side? Okay. So, I will stop sharing this screen and start for the next. That is unit number 1, introduction. So, might be this meeting may be ended. So, we'll start with the next joining, unit number 1. Okay. Join immediately. Yeah? Okay. Is it over? 43. I think before ending the meeting, 55 members are there, including myself. What about other 12? Please join immediately. Tell your friends who has not joined yet. So, we start with our unit 1, that is introduction. And in introduction, we just take an overview of microprocessors. That is, first microprocessor is evaluated as a 4-bit microprocessor, which is used in 4-bit used as a 4-bit microprocessor, and which is used in basic digital calculators, that is earlier pocket calculators, where microprocessor is used to perform some arithmetic and operations, that is addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. So if we see that the first, that is introduction, and here I mentioned that why it is necessary to learn the microcontroller. So some key points are there. Okay, as a microcontroller is a core of computer systems, as we have discussed. Nowadays most of the appliances, that is electronic toys, electronic devices which are available in your kitchen, which are available in commercial units, factories, so these all appliances uses and electronic systems which are based on the microcontrollers. So here microcontroller becomes a key factor of your current digital life. So without microcontroller we can't live, just we say that, because each and every sector enhanced or upgraded with the help of embedded systems, and these systems requires microcontrollers and some input and output devices. If we are considering microcontrollers, simply consider 3 sections or 3 blocks. First block consists of input devices. Last, that is third block, consists of output devices, and middle one is having microcontroller. So microcontroller based systems, that is embedded systems, generally categorize, or in our case we categorize into 3 parts only, or 3 blocks. First block is input devices or input components, and middle, that is second block, is microcontroller, whosoever is there, either 8051, 8052, 89C51, 52, whatever. And last part, that is third block, is output devices, either display devices, that is various kinds of displays, either controlling devices, that is relays, driver circuits, or some integrated circuits which are used for enhancing the power, that is, or some optical devices, that is optoisolators, based on the working of signals provided by the microcontroller. So input, microcontroller and output. So in these 3 sections only we divide our embedded system. So okay, so this is the basic image of a microcontroller based system. As if we see here, microcontroller consists of 2 sections, hardware section and software section, where hardware is consists of various actual parameters, that is I have now discussed input and output parameters. So these 2 parameters discussed in hardware section, and software section related to the programming and codes, that is programming language is important, in which we are going to develop your code, that is either assembly or C language. Mostly in these 2 language only we have to write our code for the microcontroller based systems, and it generally deals how to execute the sequence of an program, that is if various parameters are connected to the microcontroller based systems, in that case which parameter is measured, monitored first, that is if we are considering the speed control of fan with the help of temperature or temperature controlled fan operating in a room, so in that case it is necessary to first monitor or measure the temperature with the help of temperature sensor, and then apply required or requested current or supply to the fan. So sequence should be like, first sense the temperature with the help of temperature sensor, analyze it, that is compare it at what rating you want to run, that is RPM of an fan, and then you have to apply the current or supply signals to the fan. But if sequence is not like this, if you first measure the speed of an fan, that is RPM of an fan, and then if you try to adjust the temperature, it is not possible. So while analyzing parameters, different things which are interfaced with the microcontrollers, that is either as an input, either as an output. So sequence should be maintained like that. It is necessary to first analyze the input, that is take the input, that is getting data from various sensors, and after that analyze it, compare it with your rated or reference values which are already inserted in a program or code. Testing if this equal to all, or that is if else condition is there, or switch condition is there. If it is not like this, check for next condition. It is not like this, check for next condition, like this. So according to that, either switch statements or if else statement. So based on that conditions, you have to perform some task. Same application is used for various categories. One more application related to that, if we are saying that the fighter planes or fighter crafts, in these planes, it is necessary first to detect the enemy fighter, enemy plane. After that, he will trigger the missile. Okay, you just understand. So detection of enemy's plane is important, and then only pilot from that fighter plane may triggers or executes a missile towards the enemy. So here detection is first, and then you should start or ignite your missile towards that particular enemy. So here condition is that after detection, first thing is that not only for detection, second thing related to speed, third thing related to the direction of both target as well as the transmitter, that is our plane. So all these factors need to be considered, and then only you have to fire or trigger the missile. So various parameters are there. So based on that, not single parameters need to be analyzed. So all required or must parameters should be analyzed by that controllers, and then only controller should take the action. Otherwise it is not useful if missile is transmitted or sent in opposite direction and detection is at opposite direction. So failure of the system. So in that case, if we require the accuracy in your operation, so your operation should be like that. You try to analyze all the concerned parameters related to that particular task. So this is related to the sequencing of your actions or sequencing of your functions. So in coding, you have to sequence whatever the tasks need to be performed by a microcontroller. Microcontroller himself doesn't know anything what to do and how to do. But if you people specify first instruction is execute this, after that this, if this condition satisfied, you have to make it on the transistor. If this condition is satisfied, you must make it on the relay, like this. So sequence should be decided from the designer side, that is programmer side. So that's why software developer paying a highest packages instead of the hardware assembly people. So keep in mind that the workload, that is physical load of the software engineer, that is embedded design engineer, is very less. In physically it is seems that they are sitting in AC rooms and they are having big screens or internet facility 24/7, whatever the parameters are there, luxurious facility, we simply say that, are there. And these facilities are not provided for the testing engineer, because testing engineer works on the line. If you are knowing line, that is on conveyor belt, some limited task is there, limited time interval is there. In 10 seconds you have to solder one capacitor. If suppose in 1 minute you have to solder the controller IC having the 40 pins, or test the IC whether it is working fine or not, like this. And next again, next 1 minute, next controller or next device is coming. So in this manner, various tasks are doing for the testing engineer, but there is no provision sometimes AC and other sitting arrangement also if you undergone some industrial visits. But and a design engineer having various luxurious facility. In physical aesthetic, it's shown like this, but in technically, the embedded engineer seems to be continuously busy with their application. That is what to do, how to do, if sequence is changed, next version is there. So PCBs are having the various versions, version 1, 2, 3, 10, 20. Until and unless your prototype model is not finalized and not approved from the customer side, that is your uh, customers who are willing to purchase your products, then and then only you are not supposed to leave that particular project as a design engineer. So this is important, but not that too much critical. If we are thinking or write it on paper, what action is need to be done first, and after satisfying or not satisfying, what to do. Right, just like we draw and flow chart and writing algorithm. So after drawing flow chart, some conditional diamond is there, yes no condition is there. If yes, then next what? If no, then next what? So in this manner, if we are dealing with the sequencing of the project or whatever the application is there, so it is very easy for us. So some necessary tools related to the microcontrollers are CPU, that is central processing unit, IO, input output devices, where we apply the inputs and from which we are taking the output. Some memory section is there to store the data permanently, that is code is stored in ROM, and temporary data is accessed through the RAM. Some timers are available with the microcontrollers. Here in MCS 51, 4 timers are there, timer 0, 1, 2 and 3, and there were modes are also different, that is mode 0, 1, 2 and 3, we will see later on. Interrupts, 5 structured interrupts are there and one is reset interrupt. So total 6 interrupts are there, but vectored interrupts are 5 with the MCS 51. Serial port 1 UART is there, that is universal asynchronous receiver transmitter, and parallel port if applicable. Here parallel port is not available for the MCS 51. So based on these, various parameters are there. So before going, just you write down the syllabus for unit 1 introduction. Have you written syllabus? Shall I dictate it? Hello? Syllabus? Hello? Are you listening? So give the title, that is unit 1. And syllabus for unit 1. Two to three things are there, not more than that. Introduction to microcontroller, and in that first point is introduction. Second point, microprocessor and microcontrollers. Third point, CISC and RISC architecture. We have to differentiate between these two architectures. Also differentiate between microprocessor and microcontrollers. And third point is Harvard and von Neumann architecture. Okay, have you written microprocessor and microcontrollers? After that, CISC and RISC. Then Harvard and von Neumann architecture. Okay, have you completed? And last point from this is development system for microcontroller. Here for this chapter, you prefer the textbook T2. In simply, I am considering that T1, T2, T3, T3 and T4. So generally we need T2 for section 1 and T4 for section 2. So when we consider that after syllabus textbook used is T2, and if we want to use, then use also T5 also, that is Ajay Deshmukh's book, but T2 is sufficient, no problem. Right after that, title of the chapter. Have you completed? Title of the chapter. Write in that. In this chapter, in this chapter, introduction of microcontroller and its architecture type and its architecture type is studied. Sufficient. Then central idea of the chapter. Write down in that. In this chapter, we differentiate microcontrollers with respect to microprocessors and working structure. Sufficient. Importance of chapter. Have you completed? Write in importance of the chapter. Microcontroller is important. Microcontroller is important to develop an embedded system. So it is necessary to study various features of an microcontroller. So we will stop here. and first point will be taken in the next lecture. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Shall we stop here? Okay. Thank you all.